What's up everybody, Turbo EXO here again. Yesterday I filmed a little bit and due to the weather I wasn't able to put very much up, but I'm happy to say that today it is not raining. So the plan for today is I am on my way home now. It's currently almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just got off of work, so that's why I'm getting a little bit of a late start. But what I need to do is I need to go home and do some work to the car. I noticed yesterday on the way home that my car started to accelerate a little weird. So upon getting home, which I forgot to put it into the video, I learned that there is another crack in my exhaust manifold on the front. So I'm going to see if I have enough time to get the car up in the air and try and get it welded and put back together. Also, I need to do some tracing through the wires to see what exactly is going on with the transmission, but I guess we'll see when I get there. Hopefully everybody was able to take a look at the new video. I'm sorry it wasn't as entertaining as they normally should be, but I'm trying to work back into doing my videos, and hopefully y'all will enjoy this one, but I will be back shortly. If you guys are ever wanting any updates on what I'm doing, I will link my Instagram and my Twitter right here. I do update every day. I make sure I try to put everything on there so that I keep everyone updated on what's going on. And normally I put some pretty funny memes on there as well. So go check it out. Zoomed in enough. Come on, focus. Right there is the crack that's in the manifold, and it actually goes all the way back to where it mounts up against the motor. So that entire crack I need to try and fix today. Hopefully I have enough time. But other than that, everything seems to be in working order. I didn't get to show it, but I rewired the switch. This is the bigger wire for the power, that's the bigger wire for the remote, and that's the bigger wire for the ground. So all of that's been upgraded, the switch works. Now I just need to find what the issue is with the actual transmission itself, and then I'll be good to go. Another thing I had to do, if you notice these two things sticking up right here, if we kind of zoom in, you see this notch missing out of there. I had to cut a notch out of there and run a bolt straight up in order to fix my motor mount. Now it's a straight through stud with a nut on the top, and that's what holds the motor mount on. So if you ever have one of these strip out on you, that's the easiest way to fix it without having to track down that entire part. So FYI, any Mazda owners, also same thing on the Ford Fusions. So So these two wires go to the O2 sensors. So there's one that's down there. There's another one right here. So I have to unconnect those first. Pull these off of the motor right here. And get this out of the way. Alright, so those two are disconnected. There's a bunch of, I believe they're 13 millimeter bolts all the way around. You can see one of the studs that's right down there. But now, since I kind of have those out of the way, you can see how bad the crack is that's on there. And right there, I've already had to repair one crack. So this thing is probably on its last leg, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what we can accomplish. So let's get going. All right, so in order to get these off, I got this bolt and I got one right there. I've already disconnected both of these, so I can probably just pull that out of the way. But fun part is going to be getting to all the bolts that are up here. I just had to start this because I had to move it, but it's a little hot. I'm going to get working on these and hopefully get those out.
One eternity later.
Alright, I just got this off of here. As you can see, crack starts all the way up here, goes down, starts to spider web out, and this part actually started to blow out. But the crack actually goes all the way down this way and that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my grinder, I'm going to grind all this down, see if I can get a good contact surface, and I'm going to try and re-weld this. Definite recommendation, if you have one of these sockets for the O2 sensors, anytime you're welding on one of these, make sure you take off both of them if you have two in one manifold, just so it doesn't cause any issues, because the probe on the end of these is very sensitive. You can even mess them up with just the oil on your fingers. So make sure you wear gloves and take them off if you're going to weld. But these things are a lifesaver. Once I cleaned up the site, I noticed this spot right here is actually kind of dimpled in, and I don't know if this is going to be weldable. I'm going to try and see what happens, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to burn through, but we'll see. Let's get my welder and get started. I'm going to turn it around like this, get this all set up, and let's see what happens. Make sure if you're welding you get yourself a proper mask. This one, cobalt, so it's actually my favorite one. My welder, yeah, it's not the greatest. It's a 90 amp from Harbor Freight, but it still does the job. So let's get this thing set up and we're gonna get rolling.
6.5 hours later.
Excuse the boogery welds, but I didn't have much of a choice. This entire spot was so thin from having to weld it numerous times that it burnt through. So I had to do a patch weld and pretty much grind all this down. But now the entire leak that was there is gone, so hopefully it'll be good to go. Next thing that I need to do is either replace this, because this is going to be temporary. This has happened, I think, 3 times already. So I'm either going to find another one of these somewhere, either pull it off a car at a junkyard, or I'm going to go ahead and get a set of headers, whichever comes first. So we'll see.
Day 2.
What's up, y'all? Day 2. I have been out here since I got home from work, and I've been working on the car. I just got the exhaust back together, so that is done. What I was going to show you was the switch that I put in to fix my wiring issue with fans. So as you can see here, I ended up mounting it upside down on accident, but this is a regular rocker switch that's blue that matches the rest of the car. Basically, flip that on, lights lit up, fans are on, so that works now. The next thing that I need to do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it in today, but it's something that I definitely need to do. I need to pull this out, see what's going on with the wiring, because I think somewhere there might be something touching in the back, which is causing the sources to switch on its own. But I've been out here for the last hour or so working on the car, and I've got another spot that I'm working on underneath the dash. I'm checking the wiring to the TCM. I saw a mark in the loom where it looked like there were some wires rubbing. So I want to make sure that there's not an exposed wire that's causing an issue. So I'm going to check that, make sure that those wires are good, and from there I'm going to start tracing it back to the actual engine bay. And I'm pretty sure something along those lines has to be wrong. So we're going to see what we find out. Alright, I'm underneath the dash now, and I'm trying to see if I can maneuver this enough to where y'all can see it. There it is right there. So that spot right there, it's right there. That's a spot in the loom that's exposed, and I think that possibly one of the lines or one of the wires actually got contact with something. So I'm going to check to make sure that's good. But that right there is the TCM. These are my wires running from my switch. But there's the TCM. I just replaced that a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to check this wiring harness, see what's going on with that, and then start tracing everything back to the engine bay. So let's see if this is the issue. If this is the issue, I might be in luck, because that would solve all of my issues with the transmission. So I'm wishing for the best. So I went through the wiring on here, and I've been checking continuity on all the wires. I can't seem to find any issues. I'm thinking either there's something wrong with the TCM, or there's a wire that I'm just not seeing that's not getting signal. But I'm going to end up having to get a wiring schematic to where I can actually look and see where each wire goes to, what color it is, because I can't explain to you how many wires are under my dash right now. And there's probably a wiring harness that's about this thick coming through the firewall. So it's going to take me a little bit longer than just a couple hours to find this. This weekend I'm planning on doing a lot more work and trying to run down what the issues are going on with the car. So hopefully I'll be able to find it there. But this has been a 2-day video. I want to go ahead and end it here. I'll be back on Monday with a new video and videos for the rest of the week. So yeah, hope everyone has a good weekend, and as always, stay boosted.